What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and yes, I hear you. I will get the background taken down this week. I've been fighting off a bit of a cold and cleaning up after Christmas holidays upstairs, so now I will finally have time to take that junk down behind me until next year. Now, had to do a bit of an unplugged video as editing is running a little behind today, but I do really appreciate all of your kind words about the additional editing and things like that. I know it's not for everyone, but I think overall it's been a positive impact. The editors are reading your feedback in the comment section down below, and they also request you to leave a like and a comment on the video. It's the only way this channel is going to grow these days. Now, the unending butthurt about Joker continues to be baffling because the movie was great. Nothing bad happened because of the movie. Everything everyone said didn't happen. Now, last night there was the Golden Globes, and then this morning there were some more awards announced for BAFTA, which apparently BAFTA so white. Joker had many nominations there as well, and celebrities continued to screech. Now, during the Golden Globes Sunday night, Joaquin Phoenix was being Joaquin Phoenix, and Olivia Marks, who is apparently a, let's see. Oh, some replies were hidden. Shocking. An entertainment reporter from Variety says, "Is it really necessary to be such a dick?" Well, what had happened was Joaquin was asked for the millionth time a question about what he had to do to prepare himself to play Arthur Fleck in the Joker film. And he basically said, "Look, I already answered this question a million times. I guess I'll answer it again," in short. And people were whining that he was being rude. This is a reporter, allegedly, who has clearly never seen Joaquin Phoenix on any interview or any night show. The guy is bizarre. He's dry. He's super sarcastic. And he walks a fine line of whether or not you think he's mad or if that's just how he's talking. That's just the way the guy is. And of course, everybody just looking for any possible chance to tear the movie down, to tear the actors down, to tear the directors down. They still haven't gotten over that there wasn't a mass incident during the film. I'm not kidding. There were, and I am convinced, many news pundits and reporters that really wanted something bad to happen at the Joker screenings. And they put the country on lockdown, and when nothing happened, guess what? They all looked like idiots. They all looked like the moron fearmongers that they are. And then meanwhile, while they weren't looking, there were issues at Frozen 2 of all movies. Now, the awards continue to flow in for Joker. Not enough as far as I'm concerned, but I don't really care. I mean, I'm surprised that actors even care about this stuff. I'd be willing to bet that most of them don't. But you see whiny babies like Beyonce here. Beyonce didn't win the Golden Globe she was nominated for last night, but she still managed to make her own silent statement during the broadcast. When Joaquin Phoenix was announced the winner of Best Performance by an Actor in Motion Picture Drama for his work in Joker. An easy win. A divisive win because it was sympathetic, gritty portrayal of a bad person comic book villain. Beyonce, remained seated. Viewers, including Twitter's Sam Stryker, took notice. Sam Stryker says, "Beyonce sitting during the ovation for Joaquin Phoenix's win is the type of energy I want to see from everybody in 2020. Why? Being a sore loser? Being an idiot? Is that, I mean, look, Beyonce's got more money in her couch cushions than I have, will probably make my entire life, but that doesn't make her smart, and that doesn't make her behavior worth mimicking." Beyonce did not walk the red carpet during the Golden Globes. She and Jay-Z arrived at the ceremony during the broadcast of the show. The singer had one nomination, Best Original Song for Motion Picture in the Lion King soundtrack. The singer spoke to Elle for its January issue about the moment she took control of her narrative as an artist and made it clear that in her response that she understands the power she has an A-list star when using her voice. And in this case, she chose not to stand with everyone else to applaud Joker winning a Golden Globe. What a huge role model. Now, of course, Joker, now the BAFTA nominations have started to come out as of today, and Joker leads overwhelmingly white male group of 2020 BAFTA nominations. Here's another title from Entertainment. Joker leads BAFTA nominations. Film chair slams infuriating lack of diversity. This is such a frustrating... I feel like I have to address this argument every time it comes up because it's so dumb. You're nominating the best people for the job, the best people for the award. If you were to use, sometimes people can take things to the extreme to point something out, right? If we just stretch out this idea of there's some imaginary number of diversity that's required in everything. Let's say that all of the movies for an entire year starred white folks. Actually, let's make it easier. Let's say it's black folks, right? Do you think there would be articles about the lack of whites? No. Do you think that... And that's probably not a great example. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is no correct number of skin color in any particular award ceremony. And the awards are a product of the best movies. This presumption that there is a golden number of non-whites means that, hypothetically, because only in a vacuum do you have the exact same quality candidates to choose from. Here's a better example. Affirmative action. Okay? The idea that between two candidates, they're exactly the same, and therefore you should take the non-white one. It's an interesting theory that some people have that is easily, you can poke holes in it, but I don't have to poke holes in the theory. I can just say that in no situation are two candidates exactly the same, all right? If you think they're exactly the same, then you haven't asked enough questions. Then you haven't called around to their references enough. Then you haven't looked at their work history enough. Then you haven't done your job. I suppose if you're looking for people to hold those store closing signs, right? Maybe you'd have fewer questions. But even in that case, two candidates are never exactly the same except for their skin color, all right? So if you think they are, you're not doing your job. And the same thing would be true for award ceremonies. Todd Phillips' Joker has received yet another Oscars pre-boost with a staggering 11 BAFTA nominations, but the lack of diversity among the British Academy of Film, Television, Arts of let's just call it BAFTA nominees, is no laughing matter. The Joaquin Phoenix starring anti-hero movie earned notices of the Best Film category and a slew of technical nods, as did Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with 10 total. I didn't think that movie was that good. Am I the only one? I thought it was one of Tarantino's least good movies. That's a great way to put it. Scorsese's The Irishman got 10. Sam Mendes, 1917 with 9. By the way, I'm so pumped to see that movie. And Bong Joon-ho's Parasite with 4 nods. That doesn't sound like a white person. Still at the 2020 BAFTA award nominations, voted for a prestigious industry group that shares heavy crossover membership with the Academy, were announced Tuesday morning. Social media buzzed with criticism aimed at all-white acting nominees, which ultimately inspired the BAFTA So White. As it stands, all 20 of the BAFTA nominees in the 4 main acting categories are white, with strong preseason contenders like Jennifer Lopez from Hustlers. Gross, that movie sucked. Lupita Nyong'o's Us, also very poor. Cynthia Erivo from Harriet, didn't see it. And is your name really Aquafina? Sorry. I know you didn't choose that name. From The Farewell. I didn't see that either. They might be great movies. I don't know. Missing out on nominations, while actresses like Scarlett Johansson from Jojo Rabbit and the Married Story and Margot Robbie from Bombshell and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood doubled up on the BAFTA nods this year. In a statement provided to the EW, BAFTA CEO Amanda Berry, a woman, called the nominations hugely disappointing, as she points out this year's group round activity has many strands that focus on diversity. It's clear there is much more to be done, and we plan to double down on our efforts. Can you imagine it? It's an SJW actually says double down. Outside major acting categories was Lulu Wang's The Farewell, nominated foreign film category, while actors Aquafina, representatives for BAFTA Awards, which will be handed out on February 2nd, did not immediately return EW's request for comment on Tuesday's nods. Read on for the full list of BAFTA nominees, but there's no end to it. I mean, there's going to be endless articles. Here's Joker leads overwhelmingly white male group of BAFTA nominations. Again, it's not the fault of the actor or actresses or director that they made a good movie. You know, like, I don't know. I live in a purely meritocracy-driven mindset. I know that isn't always the case. In fact, in modern times, it's rarely the case these days with so much forced gerrymandering of awards. But look, maybe, you know, non-white people weren't in the best movies for the year. So what? Why is that a problem? The bigger problem would be to elevate somebody who wasn't the best just to have a different color skin on the stage. That's disgusting, and nobody wins from that. This mindset is childish. It's really rooted on a place like Twitter, to be honest with you. Reductive, childlike minds that need everything to look like an iStock photo in a picture frame in a store, when that's not exactly the reality. Would it be great if more non-white people were in great movies? Sure. Guess what? They are. They're all in great movies. There's lots of people in lots of different films. Just maybe they didn't get awards this year. That doesn't mean there's a problem. The unending butthurt continues. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.